Okay, for record, we are here for WRC RERA Study Group meeting for February 2023. I welcome all on behalf of WRC of ICI. Today we are meeting for RERA Study Group as already said, and today's topic is open house discussion on RERA with question and answers. For that, we have panelists CA Sunil Naik sir, CA Dilip Agrawal sir, and CA Sumit Kapure sir. सर, तो पहले तो अभी फिलहाल बहुत सारे अपडेट्स वगैरह आ गए हैं और उसमें सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि रियल एस्टेट एजेंट के लिए भी सर्टिफिकेट और कोर्स और एग्जाम वगैरह देना है और उसी के रिगार्ड हम डिस्कस भी करेंगे. उसके बाद में बहुत सारे नोटिसेस इशू हुई है रेरा प्रोजेक्ट अपडेट के लिए. देन वी हैव फॉर्म 3, लॉट्स ऑफ क्यूरीज, फॉर्म 5, and then in last we will discuss as Sunil Naik sir requested to discuss for Vaidehi Akash Housing Private Limited case. Sunil sir will show us the how to read or how to use Vaidehi Akash Housing Private Limited Bombay High Court discussion. So first question to Sumit Kapure sir. We are receiving lots of notices from our client that non-updation of project details. बहुत सारे मेल्स इशू हुए हैं अपने क्लाइंट के लिए जिन्होंने अभी रजिस्ट्रेशन के बाद में अपडेट्स नहीं किए हैं. तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन गोज टू Sumit Kapure sir regarding recently notice issued by the RERA authority for non-updation.
So sir, I would like to update you all that recently established department under the leadership of Sanjay Deshmukh sir, retired IS officer. He has taken this initiative. The basis or the basic objective behind taking this initiative is that the RERA should have the updated information. There are various things going on in background at RERA. So for all those things, RERA needs an updated information about the projects. For example, yesterday I happened to be in a meeting where Mr. Sanjay Deshmukh himself was there, and he conveyed that about these updates and notices. So he said that there are more than 3,000 projects registered in RERA wherein not a single unit has been sold as per the information. So which is next to impossible. The units, the projects which are registered way back 3 years back, 4 years back, and there is not a single unit which is sold in such projects. So RERA want that the information reflecting on the RERA webpage must be updated information. Second thing about the notices, the projects which are registered at the time when the RERA came as an ongoing projects or in 2018 to 2019. So as far as to bring these projects at par with the or for the updates, one time you may say a window wherein you can file the one form for each year. That is, let us say for 2018, Form 3 as on 31st March 2018, Form 2, Form 1. Same way for 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. From 2022, we have to file the quarterly forms. Form 5, Form 2A, these are the compulsory documents. You have to file it. Then disclosure of sold book inventory based on the latest certificate received from a chartered accountant, one has to file it. And the information which is reflecting in the latest certificates given by the professionals uploaded on RERA webpage must be inconsistent with the corresponding modules on the RERA webpage. For example, if there is a certificate of the architect uploaded on RERA webpage, wherein in task and activity module, we see that quite a substantial work has been done, but the same is not uploaded in task and activity module on RERA webpage. So task and activity table from the architect certificate and task and activity table on RERA webpage, these two things should match.
I'll come here for a minute. See, the whole purpose, as I understand, is to enable the allotee to take an informed decision. If the updation is done properly, then the purpose of RERA will be accomplished. Otherwise, again, the allotee will be in a blind situation. He'll be taking a blind call, which is not the purpose of RERA. The whole purpose of creating transparency between the allotee and the developer is proposed to be followed up by these updates. So what will happen is that the allotee will get the updated information. Say, suppose he is buying a flat on the 9th floor, right? And at the time of registration, only the CC was only up to 3rd floor. So 9th floor flat, whether I should buy or not, I can take a decision only after seeing what is there on the records. So now from that perspective, RERA wants a synergy of information between the allotee and the developer so that the decisions taken will be properly informed decisions. And that will minimize the litigation in the future because the litigation will be coming out of that non-disclosure. So that is the purpose of this whole exercise by RERA. So it is a very welcome step. Actually speaking, we also as professionals will be bound to submit our certificates in time. So there will be a compliance. The way we were filing VAT returns in the past, we used to always delay it or it used to be get delayed for whatever reasons. Now with GST coming in, we are very particular. We make it a point to submit the returns in time. So similar thing will happen with RERA also in time to come. So that is the whole purpose. Yeah.
Yes. And the same, as Naik sir said, the same were the words used by the chairman also. Chairman RERA, that we want to bring a transparency. The basic objective aim of the RERA is to bring transparency. There should not be any information gap between the promoter and the allotee. Both should be on the same page. That is the basic objective. Yes, so I think to summarize, yearly QPR and quarterly QPRs from 2022 should be the sufficient compliance to comply with those notices.
Sir, what is the last date for this? Is there any last date? So my video is not working, so
notice itself makes it mandatory to comply with the notice within 30 days from the receipt.
Okay. Thank you.
So the day you receive the notice, you should comply.
Okay. Thank you.
30 days.
Yes.
And coming here is that, now that we know for sure that there is a compliance to be made by us, in no point in waiting for the notice to come to you and then reply to the notice. It is a mandatory provision. So we'll have to start doing that exercise of making the compliance.
Yeah. Can I add something?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For your words.
Yes. Well said, Sumit ji and Naik sir. Only thing is, when the notices are issued, they are not imposing, as we had meeting for some reason with some of the developer, with Sanjay Deshmukh sir. He said till 30 days, we have given the liberty to submit an update. We will not penalize developers. So therefore, we all professionals should take it within the timeline we should comply with. And possibly if after 30 days, they may either they can impose some small amount of penalty or they can give further 10-15 days time around so that rest of the promoters can also comply with. And last one is, it's a good and big opportunity for us being chartered accountant because these compliances, except CA certification forms or audit in Form 5, other things anyone can do, but we are more competent and we are aware about this. And this is the, like RERA started on virtually 1st May 16, but actual from 1st May 17. And that time, many of us, at least myself, I am doing only RERA, no other work. No, if you offer with a good amount of money, still I will say, no, I don't do anything. So this is the opportunity. What I say this, you all, because 14,000 notices have been issued by MahaRERA, so कुछ notices, तो ये हम और आपके पास में 50-100 केस भी शायद नहीं होंगे नाइक साहब को छोड़ के बाकी को मुझे नहीं लगता कि बहुत number of hundreds of builders will be with us. So it's an extraordinary opportunity. Do whatever you need to do so that you can jump into this and grab this opportunity and solely completing in this area. And we want people to come. हम लोगों का जो core profession है, people have confidence in the chartered accountants. जब भी हम advocate के मुंह से सुनते हैं ना, वो हमारे बारे में 1000 positive चीजें बोलते हैं. आप इंटेलिजेंट हो, आपके पास तो फाइनेंशियल नॉलेज भी है, आपके पास डिग्री है, साइन करते हो. हमारे पास तो हम यही लड़ झगड़ के कोर्ट में जो अपेयर होते हैं, दैट इज द ओनली टूल वी हैव. और वो भी रेरा में, तो आप लोग भी ट्रिब्यूनल में तक आते हो, रेरा अथॉरिटी, तो दीज आर द थिंग्स दे थिंक अबाउट अस, बट व्हाट अबाउट अस, अबाउट आवरसेल्फ? दैट इज द प्लेस वेयर यू हैव टू स्टैंड एंड लुक एट कि हम सीए प्रोफेसर, हमारी टीम जितनी बड़ी होगी ना, हमारी वैल्यू एज ए प्रोफेसर बहुत बड़ी होगी। जैसे आज बार काउंसिल है, उनके एडवोकेट को कुछ करके देख लो आप, बार काउंसिल का सेम टाइम में स्टेटमेंट आएगा कि दिस कैन नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेड, वी ऑल आर, जो भी उनको एक्सेस लेना देते, बट वी डोंट स्टैंड। विश्वास करो कि आप खड़े होंगे, एंड वी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हैविंग 40,000 कैपेसिटी इन द WRC, शर्म आता 12 मेंबर यहाँ पे इतने बड़े टॉपिक को, जो करेंट रनिंग टॉपिक को लेके हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, 12 मिनिमम, यहाँ पे 250 लोग होने चाहिए थे आज मिनिमम, इससे नीचे तो एक्सेप्टेबल ही नहीं हमको, हम आपको भी नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि व्हाई वी आर नॉट स्टैंडिंग। हमारे ब्रदर्स जितने आगे बढ़ेंगे उतना एक दूसरे का बॉन्डेज और काम हम लोग का बढ़ेगा। मुझे तकलीफ आती है तो नाइक साहब और सुमित सर और हमारे आदित्य जी पूरा सपोर्ट देते हैं मुझे, आपको उनको भी होती होगी तो वो भी कहीं से लेते होंगे या मेरे से भी कभी डिस्कस करते। तो द मोमेंट वी कम टुगेदर आवर स्ट्रेंथ इज मल्टीप्लाइड। ओके, ओवर टू ललित जी।
Okay. Then continue with the compliance. We are going for a question completed project regarding Form 5. I will ask this question to Agrawal sir. Sir, Form 5 कब issue करना है completed project के लिए? In between financial year अगर project complete होता है, Form 4 issue होता है, completion certificate issue होता है, तो उस Form 5 का period क्या होना चाहिए और कब issue करना चाहिए?
Okay, I can give my opinion. My opinion about submission of Form 5 apparently is from the end of the year up to 30th of September, within 6 months time, one should upload. That is the normal provision. There is no exceptions or something is put there. About completed project with OC, promoter can upload that OC with form number 4 from the architect. That project is completed. The moment that is submitted, rest of the things will not be required at all, because Form 1, 2, 3, 5, in my opinion, these are the requirements to regulate and monitor the project so that that project gets complete. The intention, the moment it is completed, rest of the things will not be applicable to the promoter. This is my one opinion. And before, if the promoter and the professional is up to date, if they should look at whatever before submission of those two things, if anything is pending from their part, that can be called non-compliance. Suppose quarterly submission of certain documents are needed, Form 2A is also needed, and your project is completed in suppose November or December month, but you have not submitted your Form 5. Somewhere you have non-compliant. RERA has some power, which if they utilize their power to penalize some way, that they can do. So we should update before due date or those things if we haven't. So this is my answer. Now complete and handing over to Lalit ji.
Lalit, here I like to contribute something.
Yes,
you
sir.
permit. See, when we do tax audit of a unit, right, we wait till the balance sheet date to submit a tax audit report, because the period covered is that. In case a company goes into a voluntary liquidation and the company closes its accounts on December, suppose 2022, right? So when you conduct the tax audit, you're going to conduct only up to December 22, till the time the company was live, right? In this situation, in case it is one of the projects of a entity which is completed before the balance sheet date, right? Then you can, as a matter of abundant precaution, and if you are competent to do that, you can even submit that Form 5 for that broken period, stating wherein the reasons that because the project is complete in all respects and there is no further activity to be done in the project, we are as auditors, because you are as an auditor, you can do that. You can take over that responsibility and close it. This is peculiar in the case if it is a partnership. The partners are going to part ways and they are not going to be together in the future, right? They want to complete the project, quit the project. In that situation, a very typical situation, you can have this problem where as a combined unit, you can prepare the form number 5, go to the auditor, get it done and submit. But RERA per se says, okay, you wait till the balance sheet date, we give you 6 months time and do it. So doing that within that period of time should be a good enough compliance. If you want to be really, more compliant and more, agile to the matter, you can do that. But I don't think that RERA does want it to happen in that fashion. So there is no obligation, because the law is silent on the subject. The law doesn't say that if the project is completed before the balance sheet date, what is to be done. So this can be just an imaginary situation that we are creating. As a matter of chartered accountant, the unit getting closed, you want to submit everything, so you can prepare the form number 5, submit it. RERA will not mind you, giving the form on record. That's what my opinion is. Yeah, you can take over now.
Sumit sir, your word.
Sir, the funny part is that form 5 तो उसको बनाना है, उसको ही sign करना है. इसके लिए he is more important than me.
सुमित सर, आपका कुछ कहना है इस पे?
नहीं sir, I second the opinion of the Naik sir, because that is what is practically possible.
Okay. Then from the panelists, can show light on certificate of competency for the real estate agent in recent days.
Sumit, you can take over, then I'll complete. Go ahead.
Okay. So as everyone is aware now, RERA wants to regulate this ignored part of real estate agents as well. So the basic intention behind this is to make aware the real estate agents that what they are doing, what they are supposed to do, what they are actually currently doing, what is the rule of the RERA, and what is their liability if at all they breach the provisions of the RERA. So this is the very basic intention, to make this the very important part of the real estate industry to understand that they also have the liability if they are making any false promises or they are making any false disclosures. So the details of the dates, that is from 1st May 2023, there must be this competency certificate while you apply for the RERA registration of the agents. And if I'm not wrong, from 1st September, the existing agents whose license is live, they also have to take that certificate. So there are various agencies now who are taking up this program. The exam can be given, exam is going to be conducted in 2 languages, English and Marathi. So anyone who is appearing for the exam will have to give the papers in these languages only. And the study material that the RERA has already made available on their website also, which can be easily downloaded by anyone and one can easily go through. There are the institutes which are being empowered, or which are being given the authority or license to conduct these training programs of the particular hours, and the fees are also prescribed, like 5,000 plus GST. That is the maximum fee that can be charged by such institute for these training programs.
Lalit, here, one more issue which is not under RERA, but which we should know as chartered accountant, is that there is a circular under PMLA which is relevant to real estate agents. It is very important for us to educate the real estate agents, because now what PMLA wants to do, and rather even income tax also wants to do, is that they are making the agents as a reporting entity, RE, under PMLA. So what happens is that in case the agent is doing a transaction which is coming under PMLA by virtue of the provisions of PMLA, then it is a duty of the real estate agent to inform the enforcement department that this is what is happening, and this he wants to bring to the knowledge of the enforcement directorate. So which means that when you train an agent or when you educate an agent, it is your job, because you as a chartered accountant, it is our job to educate him on that aspect also. So basic provision of PMLA, what does money laundering mean, how it is done, or which are the cases which he is supposed to report to the enforcement directorate, that also needs to be educated. So in case we have a client with a real estate agent, not only competency, but in addition to that, awareness of all this, because if you read a circular very carefully, it is imposing penalty on the real estate agent in case he does not inform the relevant information to the authority. So herein, a real estate agent acting on behalf of a developer, going out of the way to do something for the developer, may come into difficulties, because the PMLA provisions may apply to him also as a person who is facilitating money laundering. So from that perspective also, It is important that the real estate agent is educated by us, because see, ultimately we are the people who can understand these laws, right? Not maybe not in that detail, but yes, at least the basic intention of the law can be understood by us. So it is our duty to educate the real estate agent about this provision also. So friends, if you are reading this real estate agent competency thing, along with that, make it a point to read that circular also, which has come for real estate agents under PMLA. Yeah, go ahead.
I will request Akshay to please mute yourself. Then with continue with the Naik sir, I will ask Dilip sir to, can we see role of CA in this competency certificate exam or training? What is the role, और क्या नया कुछ विजन ओपन हो रहा है सीए के लिए इसमें?
Yes, certainly. Vision to open हो रहा है इसमें. First of all, now these are becoming more complex. It is not becoming so easy to get the agency certificate. It is after getting completely acquainted with knowledge of the real estate, RERA related basic knowledge. What are the provisions applicable to LOTs, builders, and the agent? How that are going to be impacting? What are the things they should be aware about the whole transparency of the documents available on the website? So many other things. These are the things because we are in more touch of the agents, people surrounding us. जिस सोसाइटी और बिल्डिंग में हमारी ऑफिसेस होती है वहां पर लोगों को इजी एक्सेस है. जैसा आईटीआर भरने में हम लोगों के पास आते हैं एजेंट्स, वैसे ये काम के लिए भी दे विल बी अप्रोचिंग अस. तो इज सम काइंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी. सेकेंडली, वी शुड अपडेट आवरसेल्फ आल्सो. So far, I have some further question to elaborate this subject little more.
Definitely, sir, definitely.
जो मैं नायक साहब ने ज्यादा स्टडी और सुमित जी ने किया हुआ है, तो they should give their just expert knowledge. कि जो एजेंट है, so far in my opinion, they are not covered to protect their interest, like their commission income not given by the builder. In my opinion, their interest is not protected. The RERA platform has been implemented to protect basically interest of the LOTs and in the process of the promoters also. कि उन्होंने पेमेंट नहीं किया तो बिल्डर भी फाइल कर सकते हैं to recover interest and to cancel their whatever apartments. But in this case, what are some of the different judgments or contradictory or some other place where they should go? Only is the civil matter, or some really they can be entertained. And added on this new circular which is asking them to submit half yearly statement by the agents. So it means they are completely accountable. अभी तक उनको बुक्स रखना है नहीं रखना, it is their prerogative. अभी उनको हाफ ईयरली रिटर्न फाइल करना है, तो रिटर्न जब भी वर्ड जुड़ता है तो वो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट याद आता है उनको, चलो अपन सीए से करवा लेते हैं. तो नाउ ऑनलाइन थिंग्स आर अवेलेबल. अभी उन्होंने कौन कौन से जगह पे काम किया, उस एजेंसी के नाम पर वो कौन कौन से बिल्डर के पास में अपने नाम को रजिस्टर्ड करवा रखे हैं ऑन देयर पैनल, तो वो हमें देखना पड़ेगा. ऐसा सिंपली दे आर कमिंग विद सर्टेन डॉक्यूमेंट्स और बैंक स्टेटमेंट, हमको ये 10 जगह से कमीशन मिला है, आप सर्टिफाई करके हमें दे दो या हमारे को बना के दे दो, तो मुझे लगता है कि इट विल बी मिसलीडिंग. इट विल बी बेटर टू गो वेयरएवर दे आर रजिस्टर्ड. उसको कैसा हम ट्रैक करें, वो एक क्वेश्चन है सर सुनील नायक साहब आपसे. सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, वेदर दे आर प्रोटेक्टेड. थर्डली, क्या रेरा इसके लिए कुछ आने के चांसेस है कि उनको भी हम जब इतना नेट में ले रहे तो उन्हें हम क्या सुविधा प्रदान कर सकते हैं महारेरा के प्लेटफॉर्म से, सो दैट थिंग्स आर मोर फेयर फॉर एवरीवन. यस, ओवर टू यू नाइक साहब.
Sir, very simple, sir. Let us put ourselves into his position, right? We are also part of RERA. We are also custodians of RERA. That is the way we have been treated by RERA. You are the custodian, right? For our fees to be received from a developer, is there any provision in RERA to protect us?
No.
The answer is big no. Same is the case with the agents also. RERA says we'll protect the allottees only and nobody else. So all other people are not important as far as RERA is concerned. So the way they treat us for our fees, the same way they treat the agents for their fees. The agent only thing is that he can take this sort of a position that my document with the developer is being recorded in the records of RERA. So when I do a transaction, there is somebody else who knows about the transactions. RERA is there on whose record the transaction is coming up. So my transaction gets legalized in the sense that my right vis-a-vis the developer gets recorded somewhere, so that tomorrow in case I have to file a civil suit for any recovery, I can be taken care of. That is point number one. So the whole intention of RERA is not to touch the agent, is to reach the developer through the agent, so that whatever the agent is doing on behalf of the developer, he becomes accountable to RERA. That is the whole purpose of this exercise. Exercise is not to touch the agent or to trouble him. The purpose is to get the agent in the fold of RERA, so that whatever is promising is within his rights as bestowed upon him by the developer. So RERA wants to make sure that the agent does not go ultra virus his authority and makes wrong statements or makes wrong commitments, which can lead to litigation in the future. So RERA wants this, that in case tomorrow there is a litigation, let us just take a case. In case there is a developer who is allotting a flat to an allottee, developer has given the date of 31st of March 2025 to the allottee, but the agent who is doing the transaction, he goes out of there and promises कि नहीं ये तो हो जाएगा March 24 के पहले हो जाएगा. On the basis of that, the booking is done by the allottee. And if the project doesn't get completed by 2024 March, then the allottee will have a grudge against the developer. At that point in time, who has done what will be recorded somewhere. At that point in time, the developer can always shift the responsibility of the ultra-virus action on part of the real estate agent to the real estate agent. So this is the basic thing which RERA wants to do, so that the agent remains in check about exactly what is doing. Because see, sir, real estate basically was not organized at all, right, before RERA came into play. Now it is slowly getting regulated. Now they want the under agency, the real estate agent, one part of the real estate industry, to be under their umbrella, so that they can monitor that agent also. The whole purpose of educating the agent, making the return submissions, all that is from that perspective, so that the real estate agent as well as the developer are regulated in the process. That's the whole purpose. And as regards the fees are concerned, sorry sir, we do not have any access to that. Nobody, whether it is chartered accountant, whether it is the real estate agent or an engineer or an architect, they do not give any comfort level from RERA about their fees. So that will be a civil dispute which you have to take up at that level. Even our institute does not come into our support in case there is a fee outstanding. The institute says it is between the client and the chartered accountant. You should have got nothing to do with that. So same is the case with RERA also. Yeah, Lalit, take over.
Yes.
Sumit,
one
sir.
more thing.
Sorry.
Sir, but can I ask the question? Lalit sir?
Yes, yes, definitely, sir, definitely. I will request all to, you can ask question or you can jump into a discussion. It is not restricted to panelist and moderator.
Thank you, sir. Sunil sir, but the issue is in Act, it is written that any aggrieved person can file a complaint against a promoter or agent or customer. So we can understand about professionals and others. But what about agent? They can be aggrieved person. They have some stake in the project, because they, if you will see, the RERA also came out with a clause relating to agent, that if there is a any fees being decided, then that can be mentioned in the agreement for sale. So why they cannot have the protection under this aggrieved person? Because he, if duties are being imposed, they have to file, they have to do all the compliances, they have to pay the registration fee to RERA. So only why duties and not the rights they can enjoy in the RERA Act?
See, that is the structure of the law. You cannot change that, right? See, the real estate agent forum will have to take up the matter with RERA collectively. And in case they are successful in pleading there and convincing the authority that, okay, you are putting the duties on our head, let you also become responsible for our transaction vis-a-vis the developers. That day may come, but as of this date, the way the law stands today, there is no protection given about the fees. And I was trying to compare the real estate agent with us also, because see, our authority also for issuing a certificate under Form 3 or under Form comes from RERA only. So it is the compliance of RERA that we are doing, right? We are not doing anything on our own. It is something which RERA has told us to do and put the onus upon us to do it, correct? Which means that the responsibility comes to us by virtue of the RERA law. So it's a similar situation. In case tomorrow your client does not pay you fees, if you go to RERA, RERA will say, sorry dear, not this place. You go to your institute or directly go to a civil court. The same will be the case. So our situation vis-a-vis the agent will almost remain the same. It will be parallel. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You well said, sir. जैसा आपने बोला ना सीए का नाम, तो immediately got the answer, complete answer. We are also similarly professional. They are also professional. Their name address has to be uploaded on the professionals list. And we are not supposed to get the registration number is something. I am not supposed to upload any documents half-yearly, quarterly, whatever work we have done as a professional under RERA. Some relaxation. ये कोई बता देगा महारेरा को तो कल एक नया सर्कुलर आएगा.
Lalit, you must have observed this. See,
Yeah.
in case of myself and Dilip ji, our bread, butter, cake, everything comes from RERA. So we are the most interested persons in RERA transactions and RERA law. Other people have got different sources, so they can always say कि ये तो एक छोटा vertical है. Go ahead.
Yes, by continuing this topic, I would like to ask Sumit Kapure sir. We are known for the training and educating people. Now, RERA want to educate agents. Sumit sir, can you see a trainer as a trainer role of CA for agents for exams, means classes or training sessions?
Very difficult for me as of now to actually foresee if we have any professional opportunities. Yes, of course, as a teaching faculty or something like that, to join some institute which is undertaking the training or imparting this training to the real estate agents, because we do have got some sort of knowledge as far as the RERA is concerned, or we can give that 360-degree view, maybe, which might be required while imparting that training. But apart from that, and of course, as Dilip sir said, annual returns, 6 months, which we are, I'm not sure how, in what format that must be filed and whether the certification is required for those kind of returns or it is just a self-declaration. So in the absence of this information, I don't see, it is difficult to comment as of now about the opportunities to a chartered accountant.
WRC भी इस पे courses ले सकती है ना?
Yeah, but
I don't think that
it being quoted at 5,000 rupees per individual. कितना काम आएगा? Understand, because if we work out the dynamics of that, the 100 agents are going to come for the classes. It will be 5 lakh rupees the total collection. They have to be taught about the basic law also, some contract law also, about RERA also. So for that, opportunity for us will be very limited vis-a-vis what opportunity we have got as a chartered accountant to do other things in life, about RERA. So so it's better to consider on those areas where we are strong, right? So let us consider on our strength areas rather than going to some area which is not paying or not. You have to go to their level and to make them understand things, which is, honestly speaking, if given to me, I may not be interested for the simple reason that it is not something which I am going to add value to their knowledge, something which will be only a matter of routine. Kaisa paper pass hona. It is like that 21 test papers which we had, or that LLB ka jo aata hai, a small book, how to pass LLB. It is something of that type, So just to pass the examination, nothing more than that.
Okay. Then next, I would like to discuss.
Lalit bhai, something I have to encounter apne Sunil bhai se. My submission, my view about this is, sir, Sunil sir, you are the number one in Mumbai, right? Might be there are professionals who are at 100th position or beyond, below that. तो पॉसिबली वो 5,000 रुपया जो 2,000 रुपया जीएसटी रिटर्न का मिलता है, उससे 5,000 मुझे ज्यादा लगता है. और सेकेंडली, जीएसटी में रोज चेंज होते हैं सर, और हमारा रेरा इज कंसिस्टेंट. We did not see any change in the act since its inception till now, which is required. We all see that such changes are needed to suit the current scenario after implementation. तो ऐसा है कि जो whatever कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट है, या रेरा बेसिक्स है, या एजेंसी का रजिस्ट्रेशन है, या समथिंग एल्स, व्हाटएवर इज नीडेड, जो भी मॉड्यूल है उनका मटेरियल है. हम लोगों ने सीए के एग्जाम में बहुत सारे एक्ट एक्सरसाइज के टाइम में वो कस्टम में जो आज तक काम नहीं आया उसको भी पास किया है सर. तो ये जो मॉड्यूल को यदि हम वॉक थ्रू कर लेते हैं और आपको हम सुपर बॉडी मानते हैं, समझो आपके गाइडेंस में गिवन शो हम अपने सो कॉल प्रोफेशनल में यदि आते हैं और हम इसको डेवलप करते हैं फैकल्टी फॉर ट्रेनिंग द एजेंट्स, और एक बॉडी बना के हम मान लीजिए कि 5-7 लोगों को
क्वेश्चन पूछने का यही था कि इफ एज अ रेरा स्टडी ग्रुप मेंबर कैन वी सजेस्ट WIC टू फ्रेम ट्रेनिंग class or training session?
Good
We can do
idea.
that. We can do that. We can always give them lectures, not an issue.
तो
But you know,
उसमें हम लोग ग्रुप ऑफ प्रोफेशनल्स को बना के जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है उससे हम एसोसिएट या हमारे CAWR से हम इस चीज का ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करते हैं, वी विल गेट एज ए फैकल्टी बिकॉज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज ऑफ पावर इंस्टीट्यूट एंड वी विल रिमेन एज ए फैकल्टी। तो हमारे प्रोफेशनल्स को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है। इनडायरेक्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी इज जो एजेंट आपके साथ जुड़ गया, दोज हु आर योर स्टूडेंट, योर सपोर्ट, दे विल बी सीइंग यू एज ए पॉसिबिलिटी फॉर रजिस्ट्रेशन और सम कंप्लेंट्स और समथिंग विच इज नीडेड। तो यहाँ पर 5,000 में हमको इंस्टीट्यूट 1,000-1,500 जो भी देगी ना, गुड एनफ। लेकिन बाद में यदि हमको 5-7 बिल्डर मिल गए तो सर हमारा खर्चा पूरे साल निकलेगा। तो दिस इज समथिंग आई सबमिट।
सर यही बात पे मैं कंटिन्यू करना चाहूंगा कि वी विल फॉर्म सम ग्रुप, और जैसे अभी कोर कमिटी मेंबर है तो WRC को एक कुछ फ्रेमवर्क दे सकते हैं सर हम लोग कि नॉट ओनली इन मुंबई बट इन नासिक और पुणे और सांगली सातारा वो साइड में भी एजेंट है सर, उनके लिए भी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम कुछ कर सकते हैं, उस पर डिस्कस करेंगे हम, वो सेपरेट टॉपिक है।
बहुत अच्छा आइडिया सर।
Okay, then order number 42 regarding this deregistration of real estate registered real estate project. Sunil sir, आप start करेंगे?
हाँ, why not? See, the law is saying that before they talk about the stalled projects, they want to understand कि भाई registration लेने के बाद में तुम लोग कुछ भी नहीं अगर कर रहे हो, for some reason if the project doesn't take shape, you don't get approvals in time, or the understanding between the partner fails, or understanding between the landlord and the developer fails, and the project doesn't take shape at all, there are no allottees, there's no money being collected, then those projects also will remain on the record of the RERA that they are projects which are registered and non-compliant. So to remove the difficulty of those people who have got registration but could not go ahead with the project, this has come into play. This is a welcome step in the sense that those redundant projects wherein there is no collection from the allottees, they are allowed to go to RERA and give a declaration saying that okay, we wanted to start a project, unfortunately we could not do it for whatever reasons, and we have not taken a single rupee from the allottee. So your contravention of any of the provision has not taken place from our side. So we request you not to proceed with the registration. We want to deregister the project. See, I have got one case of mine wherein a RERA consultant, he registered a project of 2 wings. Okay. And actually there was only 1 wing proposed there. So that 2 wings project was registered. He got a registration number. And then he realized that, that he has gone for the wrong registration. That fellow went to the RERA office, did not get a good response from them about deregistration at that point in time. So he went for a fresh registration, same name, same project name, he got another registration of only 1 wing, which was the actual project, when he has got started collecting money also. So he is complying with the second registration. The first registration has remained pending over there. So he has got 1 project with 2 registrations. The first one still in pendency there. Now under this circular, we are going to RERA to request for deregistration, because under that project registration number, there is not a single rupee collection. There is no activity there. So we want to close that. So previously we have already given an affidavit to RERA, but because there is no provision of deregistration, it has remained pending. We have been going into correspondence with them, but they did not respond to us. But now with this provision coming in, now we can get the project closed. So the data of stalled projects, redundant projects, non-compliant projects will certainly go down, because all these projects which have not taken any shape will get deregistered. So the circular from that perspective is very important, very vital. Because see, the way we face in ROC, we have formed a company, the company does not take shape, there is something going on there and they have not started the business. Company remains redundant forever. And then you start getting notices from ROC when you have to go in for payment of these late fees, records to be submitted, and then you go for liquidation. So a legally constituted entity has to be closed by a legal process. So here that process is allowed to you in a very simple manner. You went for registration, you could not do anything, go for deregistration, close the chapter. So the record of RERA also will get cleared. So they will have lesser amount of projects which are stalled projects or redundant projects. That's the basic purpose. Dilip sir.
Yes, sir.
Dilip,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Very good sharing by you. And I also got one new opening as of now. First thing, Joe, there are 2 towers or 2 wings registered in one single registration, and they did not give the re-register the second unit where there is no sale. And then you got new registration of the second unit wing, and then now you can go for deregistration of the second unit. I can say if we have section 14.2, okay, wherein specification provisions are there, and that allows us with the 2/3 LOTs permission to do some specification changes.
Correct.
If that way we place our whatever regions and some specification changes, I think that may be allowed. One thing. Secondly, in the consider there are many such kind of projects wherein in the very beginning promoters did not visualize whether they should register one or they should go for multiple registration. So most of the builders got one, and now they are struggling because without having OC, they all are having incomplete projects. They cannot submit form 4, they cannot submit form OC. Part OC is no OC. That can be defended only to protect the complaints being filed by the people, those who have got the position. That only can protect. Now, if virtually we see in the RERA Act, that protection may not be allowed. On the practical aspect, MHRERA is allowing them कि okay, तुमको फ्लैट मिल गया, अभी तुमको क्या शिकायत है, बिल्डर ने ओसी लाया ना तुम्हारे फ्लैट का, तो तुम्हारा कंप्लेन का डेट वहां से खत्म. लेकिन जो 5 years है, which is section which gives them right up to 5 years from the date of possession in OC, that if strictly we go with that, then there is a litigation possible, because the second unit, which is till now incomplete, and maybe because of the market conditions, they are not able to complete that. So उनको unwantedly they have to linger that 5 years provision. तो उसको हमें इस provision में अलग करना है. लेकिन उसमें एक क्वेश्चन है सर, नाइक सर आपके लिए फ्रेश. सपोज जो सेकेंड यूनिट है आपका, उसमें आपने 10 यूनिट आपने बेचा, ओके, आपके बिल्डर ने. अभी वो यूनिट को अलग करने से उस यूनिट के लोगों का कोई नुकसान नहीं होने वाला है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, दे आर also agreeing to go in the same unit with the new registration number. They are also agreeing. अभी बिल्डर को स्प्लिट करना है, सेकेंड यूनिट को नया रजिस्ट्रेशन करके, तो whether they can do with this new provision or old provision, what is your view?
No, sir, they are not allowed to do that. Basically, for the simple reason that already the project is registered, they already taken money from people under that provision. So that project, whatever the size may be, 1 wing, 2 wings, 3 wings, 5 wings, will have to be coupled together only. So the choice was with the developer when he went for registration at the outset. Now the choice he has already exercised. So cutting off something, dropping something which you have never done. See, because if I understand well, the whole process of deregistration is presuming that there is no amount of money being collected from the allottee. So there is no allottee in place. So there is no allottee in place, the rights of allottee do not come into play. And in those cases, only deregistration can be done. This is what my knowledge of the law is. You can put more light on that. Sumit or Aditya, you can put more light on this. This is what I understand. So cutting a project wherein the allottees are already in place, I don't think it will be permitted by RERA because they will not accept it. That's what I understand.
Yes, Aditya ji and Sumit or anybody else from the group.
Part deregistration is allowed, but in that part also LOT should not be there.
Exactly, yes.
Aditya ji, if the LOT give the consent that he has no objection, if the project is deregistered and fresh new registration is taken, he is ready to continue.
No, sir, there is no provision like that. The allottee not being there is the precondition, to my knowledge. So,
No, but one more thing is there. that if the developer wants to register, then the rights of the allottees should be settled first. That's the line
Right.
written in that particular order also. So if everyone agrees, then also RERA might, because ultimately I believe that everything depends on the allottees.
So
So
see,
if they are
that
the
situation, Aditya, is something like this, which I understand is, now suppose you have started a project, there are 5 allottees in that project, okay? And you want to register that you want to go and don't want to go ahead with that project. So when you go to RERA, before that you settle with all the 5 allottees, get their consent, and then go to RERA and get it deregistered.
correct.
That's what, see, what Dilip sir is saying is that he wants to do the project. With those 10 allottees or 5 allottees, he want to do the project in a separate name under a different registration. So he is saying that, okay, I'll get the consent of the 10 allottees, then I'll go for registration or deregistration of that portion, the existing project, and then go for fresh registration of that project under a different name or under whatever this. That's what he's trying to say. I don't think that this circular allows him to do that.
There is no. If there are 2 buildings, one building is complete, another is incomplete, and you want to separate the building, no. This circular is not with respect to that.
Correct. So, sir, you may have to go in for a specific application to RERA, requesting that there is some problem going on between the 2 sets of allottees of building A and building B. Building A is completed. I am going for conveyance. I am completing all my obligations, completing that project, and I want to separate B being out of that. And this is a scheme which I have got with the understanding of the allottees. That may be considered by RERA as a different case by itself. That's what I understand.
Okay, sir, little twist in this my question, little twist. Suppose the promoter went to RERA saying registering the second, whatever second unit wing, separate registration he has got. Now, before applying to RERA for the deregistration, he approached all the allottees to transfer their agreement for sale in this new registered project and to cancel the earlier one. Okay. Whether in that case is possible?
Sir, simple thing is that when you go for registration, at the outset, you should not be collecting any money from anybody. So if it is a new, see, you are going to register a new project now, not an ongoing project. We are going to register a new project, which means that there should not be any collection from any of the allottees. So as Aditya rightly said, you have to settle the allottees first, settle all the allottees out of the project, carve it out, and then go to RERA saying that, okay, that old thing is now closed, deregister that portion of the project, and go in for fresh agreements with the allottees in the new project, and then go for registration saying that I don't have any collection from allottees. There is no allotee in picture. I have not collected a single rupee from the allottees because I don't have registration. So I do the registration, and then those guys, they come back to me as fresh allottees for the new project. This is going to be slightly, a difficult proposition, not that easy to handle.
Yeah. Okay.
Continue with this discussion. We have received one query in chat, deregistration. I have one RERA registered project with 5 buildings. Now, due to change in plan, there are only 4 buildings. Want to remove one building from existing RERA registration. Not sold any inventory in building to be delisted, means 5th building. Can throw a light on this. 5 बिल्डिंग थी, उसमें से 4 बिल्डिंग कंप्लीट हो गई या फिर कंप्लीट होगी. ड्यू टू चेंज इन प्लान देयर इज ओनली 4 बिल्डिंग्स रिमेनिंग. तो उनको वो 5वीं बिल्डिंग रिमूव करनी है. तो दे शुड गो फॉर डीरजिस्ट्रेशन और फाइल अमेंडमेंट. दैट्स द क्वेश्चन.
I think amendment should be good enough. Sumit, you can do the amendment. You can say that my approval is only of 4 buildings and 5th building I have dropped.
But the thing is that reduction of the total number of wings is not directly permitted. I mean, that particular field is can be changed only with the correction application. That is by way of paying 5070 rupees to the RERA. But that is the advisable. But you will have to prove with the latest CA certificate that there is no money accepted in that particular building. There are no, and of course the technical department will also look into it, whether your plan, your layout plan is there, how your 4 buildings are placed, and where your 5th building was, or something like that. I mean, it will be a 360-degree view as far as RERA is concerned. not only financial, but of course, technically also they will be.
Yes, correct.
Then
So
we will
sometimes
we
what
will
happens-
have one online
Yeah.
query. Yes, yes, sir.
What, Sumit ji, what happens? Suppose in most of the layouts, right, there is a single layout approved or proposed by the planning authority. And this is the plan of the developer that they want to carve out of the 5-1. And then with this planning, they just want to get it carved out with the professional support. We are discussing that. बिकॉज वहां पे प्लान में आप ढूंढोगे कि उसमें से वो बिल्डिंग गायब है, 4 ही है क्या, तो वो नहीं मिलेगा शायद, वहां तो 5 मिलने वाले. वी हैव टू अकॉर्डिंगली सबमिट possibly in our submission that we are having these 5, but as of now we want to carve out so that these 4 can be
This is-
declared as complete. Can be declared as complete, and the RERA provisions should not be applicable any further after submitting the OC in the form 4. Only that can be possible when we will be allowed to carve out the 5th building. तो उधर हमको मिल जाएगा. रीजन ऐसा हमें देना चाहिए. Yes, complete.
Okay. Then the online query we have received in form number 3, amount withdrawn is more than amount eligible as per the work completed completion calculation. First, amount which can be withdrawn is 76 crore and actual withdrawal from designated account is 105 crore. Excess resulting withdrawn of rupees 29 crore. Continue with the second. Net amount which can be withdrawn must be nil, right? Considering negative value, that is excess withdrawal. Then third, how to report same in form 5, that is amount withdrawn from designated account but same is available in current account, that is amount not used by the developer for the project. In withdrawal table in form 5, it will be considered as amount withdrawn from designated account, right, and closing balance would be as per amount available in designated account. First of all, इन्होंने शायद इनको ऐसा कहना है कि ये फॉर्म 3 में 76 करोड़ का विड्रॉल कर सकते हैं प्रोमोटर, लेकिन उन्होंने 105 करोड़ का विड्रॉल किया हुआ है. देन ये जब कैलकुलेशन अपन फॉर्म 3 में प्लॉट करते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली विड्रॉल अमाउंट विल बी निगेटिव, तो वो नील देना है क्या या निगेटिव देना है, और यही सब फैक्ट फॉर्म 5 में आप कैसे रिपोर्ट करोगे, ये क्वेश्चन है सर. तो आई विल रिक्वेस्ट सुमित सर टू स्टार्ट विद दिस.
Yes, sir. May I request Dilip sir or the Naik sir to take up this because I think that will be better.
Okay, I'll take it. Don't worry, I'll take
अच्छा
it.
अच्छा है, चेन से हम लोग जाते हैं. जैसा हम लोगों ने इन द वेरी बिगनिंग वी हैव बिल्ट अप कि हमारे जो स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट पिलर है नाइक साहब है, बिकॉज इट इज देयर इज नो क्लियर कट आंसर इन द एक्ट एंड
Yes, sir.
deviation is there.
Yeah.
If prima facie my opinion is there, my opinion is in the form 3, those who are certifying should specify in the report in bio of note that this is so, and better to bring out some situations whatever you could get in the given circumstances and facts of the case, so that somehow it can be defensive also for the promoter. And जो उनका available withdrawal limit है, that will be here one can put negative amount also. Withdrawable amount तो negative नहीं डाल सकते, तो 0 लिखना होगा and स्टार मार्क लगा के and subject to the notes वहां पे हमें स्पेसिफाई कर दे, क्वालिफाई जैसे हमें करना चाहिए. तो एज ए प्रोफेशनल वेयर वी आर अकाउंटेबल फॉर आवर रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, तो वो हम फुलफिल कर पाते. सेकेंडली फॉर्म 5 है, फॉर्म 5 इज अकाउंटेबल फॉर वेदर ऑल द कंप्लायंसेस आर डन, जैसे 1, 2, 3 का टाइम टू टाइम हुआ है कि नहीं, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली प्रमोटर उसको फुलफिल किया है कि नहीं, और उसमें जो जो उन्होंने फुलफिल नहीं किया है, सेम थिंग दे शुड आल्सो रिपोर्ट इन देयर नोट्स टू द अकाउंट्स. अभी फॉर्म टेबल जी में विच इज ऑब्जर्वेशंस, तो दोज बाय वे ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशंस कैन बी एक्सप्लेन्ड and these are so, and rest of the things which is hidden with the professional who has asked the question, those facts we cannot explain as of now. बहुत सारे फैक्ट्स होते हैं, जिस फैक्ट्स के बेसिस पर हम उसको जस्टिफाइबल रीजन के साथ में एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं. जस्ट ओवर टू नाइक सर, इसको मॉडिफाई करने के लिए.
No, no. See, if you go through the law, the first circular which came for CA certificate, if you remember that, it at that time there were two situations. One was an ongoing project, one was a new project to be registered. At that point in time, RERA came with a circular saying that in case of such a situation, 79 and 105, the net amount should be taken as zero. They have specifically said that you say the amount as nil. That's what the circular said. So there, what they said is that the purpose of that circular was, at that point in time, there was no restriction of 70-30. So before RERA came into picture, if the promoter had withdrawn more money, right, because there was no restriction imposed on him up to that point in time, that figure was allowed to be taken as zero. But that circular, if you read it very carefully, it talks about only ongoing projects. After that, this issue should not arise for the simple reason that the promoter has given an affidavit that he will be putting 70% in a RERA resident account, utilizing that for construction purposes only or the specific purposes only, which means that the promoter is not having any authority or any power to touch anything out of that 70% for non-construction use. So this query of this gentleman, 79-105, is absolutely contrary to the affidavit submitted by the promoter at the time of registration, because which means that he has siphoned of money. If he has siphoned of money, then I will like to put it across like this to my fellow brothers, that this is a case of non-compliance and contravention by the promoter. So this is a serious lapse. It is not a procedural thing. It is just to be mentioned somewhere. It has to be highlighted because the whole purpose of RERA is being defeated by this promoter by withdrawing money more than what is entitled to. So this excess withdrawal has to be pinpointed absolutely with a red flag by the chartered accountant. Though he may say amount permittable withdrawn will be zero, but he has to mention that by way of a specific remark there, that in this situation, there is an excess withdrawal. And to all my fellow brothers, this can be dangerous to you in case you hide this fact from the authority or from the allottees, because for the simple reason that this is going to lead to a problem in the project in the future. So God forbid, in case there is litigation on that account, and if the chartered accountant who is litigating from the allottee side, if he is smart, if he goes for inspection of the RERA authority and gets these details on the record, then he can make the chartered accountant also accountable for this lapse. And see, Gujarat RERA already started that. They have already started getting inquiries and queries to the chartered accountants for non-performance or wrong performance. So this is going to come to Maharashtra also. So it is our bounden duty there to make sure that this point is highlighted in Form 3 as well as Form 5. Form 5, the query of the gentleman is this. Presuming that same numbers are there, 79 crore rupees is the
Withdrawable.
105 is the amount
Withdrawn.
collected. So which means that 26 crore rupees is being withdrawn more, or whatever the 26 crores, right? And if that money is saying is in a current account, which is being maintained over there. See, the current account maintained by the developer does not have any compulsion of spending in a definite given form, right? That current account money can be next day withdrawn by the promoter for something else. There is no control on that current account of the RERA authority or of the allottee. So in my opinion, this is a justification that the builder is giving for utilizing more money than what is allowed to do. This can be a justification from the developer side. It can be made as a remark by the chartered accountant, but it is the duty of the CA to make sure that is excess withdrawal should be highlighted in Form 5 also. In any case, it will be highlighted because it is there in the format. You can't change the format because the format does not give you that you are having a current account balance somewhere else to hide that. It's not permitted. If the developer wants it and the CA is convinced that a current account is a temporary phenomenon, the money will be utilized for construction only. If you want to safeguard the developer, he can put it, but he should put it in such a fashion that the exact facts are caught and being disclosed for the benefit of the RERA authority. So he should not take the onus upon him to act as a shield for the wrongdoing of the promoter. He should make it a point to disclose that properly in Form 3 or Form 5 as the case may be. That's what I personally feel. And I will not let Sumit do any such Form 3 or Form 5 in my case. I can assure you that.
Very good, sir. Yeah, good. Straight answer. Sir, one thing, can we just ask you? So far, CA, you tell all those things. Obligation on the bank side, when the banker is, as per the RERA circular, bank is also supposed to get those Form 3 and then allowing promoter to withdraw. Now, if the promoter is withdrawing more than whatever, now we are obliged to whatever disciplinary action is possible. On the bank also, next day, RERA can come out, some might be whatever provisions
No,
or
but
something.
sir, honestly speaking, the banks are not trained to handle this, right? And RERA is not making any compulsion on the banker to give any report or give any feedback to the RERA authority. So the bankers are not termed a reporting entity, the way they are put as a reporting entity in case of PMLA or an income tax. Now in the RERA, the bank is not being mentioned as a reporting entity. So there is no obligation or responsibility cast upon the bankers to report something to RERA. So far as the law stands today, I don't think the bankers are required to give any sort of a undertaking or a compliance or a report to the RERA authority. So banks can always escape the liability, but we cannot escape that because we are directly responsible for the monitoring of the account. That's what I personally feel.
Sir, in one of my clients' case, bankers did not allow the client to withdraw the money because they did not file the Form 5. And they said,
सर
आपने
ये
file
अभी
नहीं किया है.
रिसेंटली हुआ होगा, पहले होता था, लेकिन अभी बैंक भी मांग रही है,
Bank
स्पेसिफिकली
भी
प्राइवेट बैंक
somewhere,
लाइक
it should
HFC
be,
and ICICI.
some of the bankers are already started acting because RERA circular says they should get all those forms in their custody. After getting that, they should allow withdrawal. It means indirectly they are bound. Indirectly they are bound. Okay, okay, go ahead.
Sir, I just want to mention one experience over here. One of the very famous developer from Pune, उसका जो landowner है, maybe probably the only landowner in Maharashtra who files his Form 3 very regularly, quarterly, before 20th of the quarter. Now, after the issue of this circular, when banks started asking for the withdrawal of money, Form 3, then of course the bank of this particular landowner also asked for, because he had opened the RERA bank account there also, he was doing 70-30 and whatever allowed to him only he was withdrawing from the RERA bank account. So then the bank started asking question, can you give me your Form 1 and Form 2? So the landowner said, see, I don't have a Form 1 and Form 2. Form 1 and Form 2 is of a project and that belongs to the developer. I have my Form 3 and I'm diligently complying it. If you ask me, I can go to the developer and bring that Form 1 and 2, but I don't want to depend on him for my withdrawals, because whatever my eligibility is, I am submitting to you and I'm doing it as per the law, whatever the required, I'm giving it to you. Now the bank stopped any kind of withdrawal for at least a month. The client as well as me, we went on talking to the manager, general manager, zonal manager, divisional manager, alana manager, falana manager for n number of times to make him understand that, see, he's the landowner and he's the only landowner probably who is complying with all these things. Or else, उसने RERA account ही नहीं open किया और नहीं किया होता, and normal current accounts, if he would have conducting the transaction, it was easily possible for him. He would have done that and he would have easily escaped his liability. आपको समझ में भी नहीं आता था. Then finally, somehow after a month of chasing with the various bank officials, they came to the conclusion that yes, we can do this, but you give us a declaration that you are not Form 1 and 2. Your developer is submitting to it, and you don't have a control, or you cannot submit the Form 1 and 2. So we drafted it as per whatever the bank desired, gave it to them. And then after like 30-35 days, they allowed you to withdraw the money. So this is how the banks are also functioning, without understanding the law.
Sumit, one solution to this, what I suggested to my this landowner is that if you will see the commencement certificate they issue in the name of the promoter and their landowner's name is also written. So likewise, I suggest professionals, architect and form to also, you mention both of them.
Correct.
Because if
Perfect.
the legal title report, they have those names, then why can't you mention both names? So in that case, in certificate also, you clearly mention to this developer and this landowner, because everywhere these two names should appear. That was I suggested, and now I hopefully that might solve.
See, the project number is also mentioned, which is unique. But then the landowner didn't wanted any kind of dependency on the developer, because if developer is non-compliant, then why he should suffer when he's providing with the law?
But developer banks are going beyond their authority, because in
Correct.
Act also clearly it is written that they cannot suo motu freeze the bank account of developer even though extension certificate is not there. Because what is happening, RERA authority has not given any order and they are suo motu, and extension takes time. So till then construction activity is disrupted.
Correct.
They don't have any authority because we don't have RERA bank account regulations itself.
दिलीप जी, यहाँ पे आपके लिए एक सजेशन है. We were talking about, and it was taken up by Aditya also and Lalit also, is that we should impart training to the real estate agents, correct? In addition to that, see, there is an opportunity for all of us to train the bankers how to interpret RERA. This is a very big opportunity because the bankers do not understand RERA. The the loan department, housing loan department, the project loan department, in case they benefit from our knowledge of RERA, it can be a great opportunity. Actually, this should be taken up by our institute, and all these guys who are dealing with the institute should request the institute to start some courses for those people. For example, a project loan being given by a bank to a project, a real estate project. For them, the RERA compliances is very, very important for them to understand the progress of the project. See, for the banker to make sure that the amount of exposure that they have towards the project to be monitored, they should know RERA. In case they know RERA, they can take all the certificates on the record and understand the progress of the project, how the money is being utilized, where it is being utilized, are the sales in order, is the security sufficient, is the project moving in the right direction, is the compliance being done regularly. All that can be taught to the bankers. So if you ask me honestly, that is a fantastic opportunity for all of us to impart training to the bankers, wherein the entire management of the bank, including the loan department people and the project the managers at those levels, should be given this training so that they understand the law properly and they do not create unnecessary hurdles for the developer. Or on the other side, they can be helpful to the developers in the sense that they can act along with the developers to monitor the project in a better fashion. So this is one opportunity for us as professionals to give our knowledge to people. And see, giving knowledge to people is always a good job. It is the job of a guru. So that way we get advantage. And secondly, we'll be in a better commanding position vis-a-vis the bankers in our functioning also. This is one area which I feel we have been trying on that. We have already given presentations to banks. Myself and Sumit, we have gone to the banks, shown a module to them, how we can give them information, how we can be a retainer with them so that all the RERA things can be handled by us. So this is some area which is having a lot of potential for all of us, which can be taken up. Lalit.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That is very good idea. And I think that idea can be implemented through WIRC. They should write to the Bankers Association, RBI, and those places wherein the things will be originating and will be implemented through the banks, and they can get trained. Either they can appoint the faculties directly in their banks at the central office level, or we can have through the WRC such programs wherein outsider non-CA can also attend by paying something. Sir, एक और question है इसमें. Consider the landowner promoter, right? They are the area sharing, okay? In those cases, which when area sharing is there, they are having some of the flats allocated in their name directly. They are selling it. Now, they don't have the architect and engineer certificate. Obviously, they can have only Form 3. तो Form 3 में एक column आता है कि engineer's value incurred, cost incurred, and CA cost incurred as per the books, whichever is low. तो जब बिल्डर ने कोई फाइल ही नहीं किया, a landowner promoter is very prompt time to time. So in that case, your cost will be zero, na? Because the engineer cost until you have the certificate in your hand, so that may be treated as nil or whatever the last certificate. तो एक प्रॉब्लम ये, दूसरा क्वेश्चन, बैंक को कैसा मालूम चलेगा कि फॉर्म 1, 2, 3 इनसे नहीं लेना है? रेरा को स्पेसिफाई करना चाहिए सर्कुलर में कि इन केस ऑफ द लैंड ओनर प्रमोटर ओनली फॉर्म 3 इज सफिशिएंट.
No,
इस पर
sir.
कुछ हाईलाइट.
No, sir. No, sir. See, if you are a promoter, form 1, 2, 3 for the project has to be submitted to the bank. So form 1, 2 for the developer, as Aditya said, that he is putting the names of both the promoter as well as the landowner in form number 1 and form number 2. So with that compliance, and form number 3 specific for the landlord, this can be the correct compliance. Now in this case, see, when the registration took place, the information has been given that is available to you. So that form 2, unless it is changed, the numbers are changed by the developer, you can stick to those numbers. And therein, if you want to be more careful, what you can do is that you can put it on record saying that this information is captured from so and so form submitted by so and so authority on so and so date. That should be good enough for you. See, as a chartered accountant,
Yeah.
you can go on the basis of only the available information. You cannot go beyond that, right? In case the developer is not supporting you, so you can go on the basis of the information that is made available to you by virtue of the registration of the developer of the project. So capture from there and make a remark there. Because see, RERA allows you to put all the remarks in place. So you can put a remark that this has been captured from certificate issued in form number 2 by so and so engineer on so and so date. Updates are not available. You can mention that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that is the good answer, and we should follow that. Like, but in some of the cases, when the promoter developer is not submitting, they are non-compliant, and landowner promoter is compliant. In that case, how they can get form 1 and 2?
Yes, it's the same situation, no? See, you are right. The landowner wants to comply with the law provisions. The developer is not cooperating or he is not bothered to comply with that. That is your question, right? So, but
Yes.
when he went for registration, there is a form number 1 and 2 being put over there at that point in time. So those figures are there on the website of RERA. So you capture from there and put it. And in that you can say that this I am capturing from so and so certificate issued by so and so engineer, so and so date. That should be good enough. Because see, you can go on the basis of only available data. You can't engage your own engineer to evaluate the project because that's not your domain, right? Because you're not a developer. So that you have to rely only on the developer and his compliances. So whatever he has done on the basis that you capture the numbers. And if nothing you can find, then you put it there that okay, this is the figure which I have certified on the basis of incurred figure. Estimate figure, I don't have the data for that. What can you do?
Okay. Yes. That is perfect. Now, okay. Yes,
Okay.
Lalit, over to you.
With continuing with the joint development or redevelopment, I would like to ask, in specific case of area sharing, where to show area allotted to landowner in form 3 at the time of registration and then subsequent form 3 and with respect to sold unsold inventory.
I think Sumit is the right person to take the entire question and give the entire answer because he's doing this day in, day out, right? And Sumit, let me check what you're doing is right or wrong. Now you're the expert today. Go ahead.
So, as far as the project which is already registered with the RERA is concerned, so normally in table C only, wherein I am following a practice that all the flats which are allotted to the landowners can be shown separately. Like the one table wherein we can show the sold inventories, another table wherein unsold inventory, and the third table that is the inventory allotted to the landowner.
Dilip sir,
Yes. Yes,
Suppose
it's a kind of, Mineshji, please go ahead.
if suppose extra space is given to the existing tenants or existing members in case of redevelopment, and we are taking some amount like extra space is there. Suppose 500 square feet, 100 is given for free, and for another 100 we are charging something. So in that you are saying we prepare 3 tables, sold, unsold, and existing tenant. So in that case, we need to show 750 area total area or only 100 square feet sold?
Okay, so in that case, what I normally do is what I'll tell you is what I normally do is I make two columns in the third table, that is flats allotted to the landowners. So the flat against which the free of cost area and the purchased area at a concessional rate or at a market rate, that area we have to write, and the consideration whatever agreed if against that particular area, if we do have that through the PAAA or some agreements that are executed with that particular landowner or the flat owner.
And in that portal, in building column, we need to fill that sold, how many units are for how many square feet, then that will not match. No?
Yes, because see, at the time of registration, it doesn't allow you at all to put the put something in the sold wala column. Okay, so you have to compulsorily put everything in the unsold only. But then your table that has to be read along with the table C of the form 3. So because the information which is given over there at the time of registration, which doesn't allow you to show the sold flats, and you do have the you do have your table C, that is form 3, which explains that there are flats which are allotted to the landowners or to the society members.
Okay, that means at the time of registration, I need to fill all. I need to fill all the 2 BHK ka. It is sold to outsider also, given to existing tenant.
Yes, because that total has to match. If you see, the finance department nowadays tallies that particular all that the inventory which you have given in your table C with the inventory that you have filled in ad buildings wala jo portal jo web page hai wahan pe.
Okay.
So that has to match.
We can like change, edit that form 3 ka format. That means, so we are changing format, no? It is
to the extent that we are making third table.
Okay.
That,
but in that there is no table for existing tenant, no?
No, in the format
you have to add. You have to add.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then Nitin Ajmera sir has a question.
Sir, आवाज आ रहा है?
Yes, definitely, sir.
Go ahead.
Basically, I am from Surat, sir. So
नितिन जी, one
different
second.
culture here.
नितिन भाई, 1 second. थोड़ा तो
Yeah.
चेहरा दिखाओ भाई, सूरत वाले कैसे खूबसूरत दिखते हैं.
सूरत तो
हम लोग
दिखाओ.
इधर दिख रहे हैं.
Sure,
थोड़ा
sir.
तो देखो सर, सारे लोग वीडियो तो स्टार्ट करो. I request all the members, please be on video. पर्सनल मीटिंग में कैसा
It's not working, sir.
लोग एक दूसरे से मिलते हैं. कोई बात नहीं सर, जैसा तकलीफ आएगा तब हम बोलेंगे बंद करना.
So we have
Yes,
Vinay also
go ahead.
here in the group. He is not showing his face to us. He is also not showing his video. Vinay, for information, everybody is a very intelligent chartered accountant doing very well in Karnataka. Yeah, कहाँ गए वो भाई साहब?
Yes.
Ajmera ji, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. I think you are on mute, Nitin.
नितिन जी आ गए. Yes. आप mute हो sir, आप mute हो.
हाँ, you are on mute, sir.
अभी आ रहा है?
हाँ,
Yes. Now coming.
अच्छा सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन मतलब बेसिकली गुजरात का कल्चर थोड़ा डिफरेंट है as far as RERA is concerned. Now my question is कि यहाँ पे मेरे डेवलपर को that land was allotted by local corporation for residential development. ठीक है. अभी रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन के टाइम पे क्या होता है कि that mutation entry should be recorded in revenue record. SMC कॉर्पोरेशन ने यहाँ पर रजिस्ट्रेशन पूरा कर दिया, सेल डीड भी ट्रांसफर किया, बट somehow they don't have any notifications कि उसका म्यूटेशन एंट्री और रेवेन्यू रिकॉर्ड्स में एंट्री कैसे होगा. But everything title is clear. We have also received title clearance report from lawyers and which have been submitted to RERA authority. Since they don't have any internal calculations how to get mutation entry in revenue records from their local body, RERA authority simply rejected that application on the basis on that reason that we are not having any mutation entry on revenue records, even though we are having clear title on the land. So what is the solution? I mean, उसके लिए क्या मतलब क्या RERA authority को मतलब प्रोसेस करने के लिए अथॉरिटी है कि वो रेवेन्यू रिकॉर्ड्स में नहीं है और मना कर दे? टाइटल क्लियर है, सब कुछ परफेक्ट है.
Before going to panelist, I would like to show some light on this. ये I think महारेरा में ये राइट्स नहीं है, या फिर ये कभी भी क्वेश्चन नहीं था कि लैंड रिकॉर्ड और रेरा कभी कोलैप्स या फिर रीचेक करेंगे. Specifically in Gujarat, there was one case where 2-3 years for registration are there, and यही था कि उस केस में लैंड रेवेन्यू में एक कुछ कंप्लायंसेस में प्रॉब्लम था या टाइटल में प्रॉब्लम था, और गुजरेरा ने वो रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन कंप्लीट नहीं किया था, वो रिजेक्ट किया था. बराबर, एज पर माय नॉलेज. सो दिस इज रिलेटेड टू गुजरेरा. वो लोग लैंड का भी रेवेन्यू रिकॉर्ड देखते हैं और उसके लिए उनको चाहिए.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन यह है कि अगर सिंपली 7/12 में या प्रॉपर्टी कार्ड पे नाम नहीं चढ़ा है तो टाइटल क्लियर है, कॉर्पोरेशन लोकल बॉडी ने ट्रांसफर किया है, राइट्स ट्रांसफर ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी हो चुका है, कंसिडरेशन पे कर दिया है, तो क्या उसके बेसिस पे रेरा अथॉरिटी मेरी एप्लीकेशन रिजेक्ट कर सकती है?
ओके, देन अभी सुनील लाइक सर, आप कुछ बोल सकते हैं इस पे?
सर, you are unfortunately in Gujarat. In Maharashtra, we could have got a registration for you for sure. Gujarat, honestly speaking, I am not the authority on Gujarat. I have got some knowledge about Maharashtra only. So this is something which I think you have to put up to the Gujarat experts like Mahadev Birla or Nidhi Kedia. They can be in a position to answer in a better fashion, honestly. But to my knowledge, a title certificate given by the advocate should suffice the matter. And
Yes,
if you
sir.
put it up across to the authority properly, that there is only a procedural issue left out in the mutation. Other than that, everything is made clear by my developer. Then I think they should consider your case positively. But why they are not doing it? Because it is not in the RERA Act per se. Unless the regulations put up by the Gujarat government specify that they should not accept that. Unless that is there in place, I don't think the authority can reject your application. The fact you say that it has been rejected, which means that there must be something in the rules and regulations which might be hindering your registration. That's what I personally feel.
And as far as RERA is also concerned, if you go through the new format of title report for last 1 year, which the RERA is following, so you will see that in Annexure A, clearly there are 4 things. One of them is, of course, the search for how many years you have taken the search, and second is about the mutation entry. So RERA is also concerned about the mutation entry, whether there has been mutation with the revenue records or not. Going further, one example, one application from the town side, MCGM, one plot wherein the developer has already got commencement certificate as well as his IODN commencement certificate. Now the developer wanted to amalgamate the other plot also along with it. So the architect, while filling in the application for the online CC, put the both plot numbers. Let us say A and B. But as far as the CC is concerned, CC मेरे पास सिर्फ एक ही है. Now I went to the RERA, filed my application. RERA itself fetching the plot numbers automatically once you put the file number of MCGM. So there are now 2 plots. But as far as the CC and sanction plans are concerned, only 1 plot is there. RERA rejected my application, saying that no, I cannot give you the RERA certificate because there will be 2 plot numbers on your RERA registration number, 2 CTS numbers, and you have got the CC only for 1. So there is a possibility that you might deceive the allottees, saying that you do have the CC for both the plots. So you first go to the MCGM, you change the records, then come to us. Our records must fetch only 1 plot number, or you get the CC for both the plot numbers. We cannot give you the certificate. Though we know that you are the owner of both the plots, you have amalgamated the plot, you have put the IOD, your IOD is sanctioned, and you are going to get the CC after payment of 1 amount, then also we cannot give you the registration.
Aditya sir, please.
Acha, one thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Just one line. Yeah. Aditya ji, please go ahead first.
Okay.
Yeah.
नहीं आप बोल रहे हैं ना सर, बोलिए ना.
Acha, नहीं, yeah, for me, in such case, Nitin bhai, obviously tribunal is there. we can approach tribunal with our grievance to address, because there are certain provisions 1 year, up to 1 year, RERA had the authority to extend projects. But beyond that, they have no clue what to do. तो जब भी बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट के ऑर्डर आने के बाद से they got their rights to apply, and thereafter even n number of years justifying, one can get the extension. So similarly in your case, if such is the first case and they have rejected you, then you can approach a tribunal to get the relief. Yes.
Nitin ji, I just wanted to add something. कि
Yeah, ji.
यहाँ पे what I believe is that title certificate is there, but somewhere the person issuing, the advocate issuing the title certificate is also dependent on something. That is a major thing. He takes a search report, and if you will see, advocates are very hesitant.
सर
Yes,
दो
sir.
चीजें हैं, टाइटल रिपोर्ट और रेवेन्यू रिकॉर्ड बोथ आर डिफरेंट.
Correct,
अगर
correct.
म्यूटेशन एंट्री नहीं हुआ है 7/12 है प्रॉपर्टी कार्ड में, दैट डजंट मीन दैट टाइटल इज डिफेक्टिव.
Yeah,
नहीं,
correct.
but sir, if you will read the Gujarat में भी form भी है, that is affidavit. The
Yeah.
first line of itself that the declaration the promoter gives is that he is having valid documentation through which he gets the title to that property. So title report is there, but title report is उसमें search होता है 30 years का, and
Yes.
even that the report should not be beyond 6 months. So, and one more section that is of the act, that is section 16, wherein title insurance. So if the developer won't ever get the insurance also, because he might get the issue because of this 7/12 that mutation entries and everything. So इसमें कैसा होगा ना, why RERA authorities are hesitant, because somewhere they are not having the authority to register the project if all these documents are not in consonance with it. So what I believe is even advocates are hesitant while issuing the title. In your case, if it is there, but still 7 बार हमारे यहाँ पे भी जो declaration है, sorry, legal title report, वहाँ पे एक annexion में 7/12 property extract है. तो अगर उसमें भी कोई issue हुआ तो महारेरा first mentions that please clear this, and then only it will get registered. And in Gujarat, they are very much ahead, I think so, because I have heard that at the time of registration itself, they do the stringent check whether it is correct or not, and all the documents are consonant. So form B में जो affidavit है उसमें अगर वो बोल रहा है कि I have valid, I will just read for you this line. That is, it is clearly written in the affidavit declaration as per the section also. 1 minute. Yeah, that land is free from that he has a legal title to the land on which the development is proposed, along with legally valid documents with authentication of such title, if such land is owned by another person. Here it is given in the act. That is the reason authorities are very much careful. That is what I believe in your case.
In my case, sir, land was allotted by local body. So defective title होने का तो कहीं से कहीं तक कोई reason ही नहीं है.
Correct, sir. This is not a right place where we can discuss title, because we are not advocate.
No, but
For that, just. You are saying that your title is clear, then you go for that specific entries or clear that record, or जैसे दिलीप sir ने बताया, you can go for the appeal on the registration. Okay, then we have left only few minutes. We have to discuss on that Vaidehi Akash housing. Let's take only one question, that solve projects. Sunil sir, nahi hai.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay. Sunil sir, क्या आप स्टॉल प्रोजेक्ट पे कोई लाइट डालना चाहते हैं, या फिर स्पेसिफिक अगर पूछना चाहिए तो रेरा में स्पेशल डिपार्टमेंट कुछ फॉर्म हुआ है, या फिर उसपे
See, every day it is coming in Times of India nowadays that RERA is going to initiate action against the stall projects. What they are trying to do here is that
I'm requesting all participants, please mute yourself if you are finished. Nitin sir, can you mute yourself?
Okay, sir.
Sorry. Sorry, next sir, please continue.
See, it is like this. That a stall project is a major problem that is being faced by the real estate industry today. What RERA is saying is that we will even enlist good developers to take over the projects which are stalled. So they are trying to first motivate the developers to start the projects. Point number one. Point number two, in case the feasibility is into difficulties because of NCLT matters or because the project does not have the feasibility per se. In that case, the RERA is offering the association to be formed and the project to be taken over by the association. That is the option that RERA is giving you as per the law. Plus, on top of it, in case the project is of a big size, wherein the association is difficult to form or to implement, there what RERA is doing is that they are enlisting good developers and requesting those developers to take interest in such projects and make sure that the projects are reinstated. I'll give an example which happened in Maharashtra. It's a classic example is of DSK Sadafuli, which was a project which was stalled. DSK was behind bars. And in that case, the Tata Capital came forward along with Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani and Mr. Deshpande of Consumer Forum. They together formed an association and headed the association of all the allottees. And therein, with the help of Tata Capital, with the seed capital being put in by Tata Capital, the project has seen the light of the day. It is almost complete now. And people have started getting possession from that project. So it is practically viable to reinstate a stalled project. So stall project requires a different sort of a outlook towards that. See, it requires the cooperation of the allottees, of the developer, of the landlord, of the bankers, the financial institutions, all taken together. So it is an independent whole-time assignment. It is not something like a registration you do and forget the project. It is a long-run process which may take a few months or even few years also. So there is stall project is not something which can be done overnight. It has to be done in a very meticulous manner. You have to really have good amount of professional knowledge to handle that and to take all the people together. So stall project is an independent matter by itself. See, it cannot be done in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It has to be taken up in a total, a proper, maybe a 2-hour session on stall project itself, which can, we can look into all the insights of that, all the, small corners, small things which are, which resulted into the project becoming non-feasible. That has to be looked into. See, basically, whether it was a default on the part of the developer, whether the project did not have feasibility at all, whether it was wrong financing model by the developer, whether he has cheated the developers. So all it has to be seen in the right perspective. See, while doing stall projects, NCLT is going to come into play, surface is going to come into play, RERA is going to come into play, the consumer forum is going to come into play. So all these agencies taken together, even sometimes PMLA, ED may come into play. So all these agencies together are going to look at the stall projects. See, right now we are facing in Mumbai, HDIL is into difficulties, Orbit is into difficulties. So all these projects are being looked at stall projects, and there are efforts being taken up to revive them. So let us put, we have got a forum here. So let us put this stall project thing as an independent subject to be taken up by this forum so that all of us can understand that topic in a better fashion. That's what I will like to say. Because with this 7 or 10 minutes left out, it will be very difficult to cover that topic. It's a very big topic.
Okay.
Lalit sir,
okay.
Vinay here, can I have one question?
Wow.
Yeah. आपका ही question ले रहा था. Please continue, sir.
Okay, thank you. Sir, in the Karnataka, authorities started asking means of finance. Means of finance is just not on the paper. They also wanted to prove beyond what is you mentioned on the paper. As you have in Maharashtra, there is a table next to the CA certificate, few percentage from the owner contribution, promoter contribution, and few from the on the sale of the sale proceeds. Say 30% from the promoter contribution. Authority is taking the next step, stating that where is this 30% you have it? Do you have it in a bank account, by FD, or what is that you wanted? Is something which is really eye opener for the promoters also, for the professionals also, because many a time you look at the balance sheet, net worth would be negative, or they will have very few less funds to even take up the project also. So how is this looking at Maharashtra, or what is the perspective of this?
Vinay, honestly speaking, we are still not looking at that. We are just looking at the 70-30 thing and proceeding in the matter. So we actually speaking in Maharashtra, We are not looking at that aspect at all, so far at least. We'll have to take that up because, as you rightly said, Karnataka has already started doing that. When we will be forced by virtue of a circular or an amendment or an instruction by the RERA authority, we start looking into that. The point is well taken. It has to be looked into. Otherwise, the feasibility will be at stake in time to come. So you're perfectly right in saying that that has to be seen. But so far, there's no mechanism put in place to look into that. Dilip ji, your views.
Sir, you are correct. When I see from table F, I don't see any guidelines by RERA. They have just come out with such thing. At least they have introduced. And at a later stage, when they will find some difficulty that now further why the projects are getting stalled, then they may come out with the honest whatever they have hidden. Actually, I can say they have supported the developers. Narova Kunjaro. Let us come out with something which can put some obligation on the promoter to specify, and maybe next level pe they may little pride this kind of thing. Correct, you are right.
Because it is not that, like, it also helps the promoter to look at how they will source the funds. That is more important. It is not only in the
Very
eyes
true.
of the allottees. Promoter should have a clarity. How do I get the funds? Not okay, fine, let me have 5%, let me go into the market. That may not be the right view.
Vinayji, they have already put sources of fund, and there are 4 heads inside of that. One is the own fund, second is the borrowed fund, another is the unborrowed fund from their own sources. They have brought money, and then the allottees fund. These are the majorly 4 sources they have put in the format, and it has been left on the discretion of the promoter. Under the guidance of able chartered accountant, they can decide how they can put their plans.
True.
For this, दिलीप सर, आपने जो बोला उसके लिए मैं अगर क्लियर करना चाहूँ तो before signing form 3 for this specific 4 point, we have to take management representation that this is our plan. और शायद ये भी है विनय जी कि यही कुछ माइंड में चल रहा है महारेरा के, इसीलिए उन्होंने ये कॉलम ये टेबल इंट्रोड्यूस किया है. विनय जी, कैन यू कंटिन्यू विथ योर लास्ट क्यूरी that as per the certificate format notified allows the
Yes,
promoter
sir.
to withdraw.
Okay, can I see?
Before that, I would like to give an instruction to panelists that please finish in 2-3 minutes. Then we will have 10 to 15 minutes extra for Sunil sir.
Okay. So the question is, like, if you look at the format of all the CA certificate of all the states, allows to withdraw the entire land irrespective of percentage of completion, except in the state of Karnataka, which they restrict land cost also to be withdrawn based on the percentage of completion. So Maharashtra is anything which you have taken on the steps, and or as a professional, do you think entire land cost should be withdrawn? In case entire land cost to be withdrawn, it should go to the landowner, nothing to do with the builder.
Okay. Shall I come in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, Vinay, you are 100% right in saying this. But we have got a peculiar situation basically in Mumbai, more of it, because here the land cost is the major component of the cost, right? So if you say only 10% work has been done and I apportion only 10% cost to the project up to that point in time, the builder will never be in a position to withdraw any money, because the initial investment by the developer is into the land. So that is the cost that is already incurred. So he will always like to defray himself or get himself reimbursed out of the collection from the allottees. So if you go on the basis of the percentage, then he will be never in a position to withdraw any money from the project till the time he reaches that level of almost 70-80% of the project. Because see, in Mumbai, wherein I stay, this area, the rate is 50,000 per square feet, right, of the sale value, and the land value is 40,000 per square feet. So if I am doing only 10% work, if I go by your logic, I can withdraw only 4,000 rupees, which is not practically possible. So which means that I have to put in the entire land cost into the project for the purpose of computing the cost incurred. I don't have any options about it. You may be right in Karnataka. Maybe I don't know how the structure is over there, but the structure in Mumbai will not allow me to use the percentage of utilization of the land vis-a-vis the cost of the project.
Sir, I will add to it. Consider if it is a JD project, land belongs to the landowner, okay, under area sharing model, and he will not sell at all.
Yep.
But still my CA certificate says you withdraw it, and builder has withdrawn out of his money, which he has sold.
No, but tell me honestly, how will you compute the land cost in the form 3 of the developer instead of JD?
Same thing, whatever the ASR value.
Yeah, but he doesn't own the land, no. So that will be going in the form 3 of the landowner. How can it come over here?
Exactly. So this is because what we have registered is a project, not a promoter.
Correct.
Right? And
Right.
what I'm reporting is a combined.
Okay. For form 1 and form 2. So that will be for form 1 and form 2, no? Okay, then go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
A combination of the landowner and the builder both.
Right.
When there is no bifurcation is permitted, so obviously like land builder say I'm okay to builder to withdraw whatever he has invested, not the land portion where he has not invested.
Okay.
That is where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I understood what you're coming from. See, you are coming from this, that the revenue, now this you're talking about a revenue sharing model, naturally, and you're taking the total cost of the land as ASR, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now your question is that the land belongs to the landlord and the developer who is collecting money from the allottees is withdrawing the money as claimed as per the value of the land. So this is a gray area. You are 100% right that the developer is taking advantage of the ASR cost of the landlord to withdraw the money, right? So this is a gray area. If there is a combined certificate, this advantage always will be there with the developer, right? So that is something which is in factored in the certificate itself. You are right. In case it is analyzed properly, then this mischief can be caught. But at present, the mechanism or the drafting of the certificate does not cover this aspect, to be very honest with you. Unless they split the certificate of Form 3 into 2 certificates, one by the landlord, wherein he takes the land cost, and the promote developer, wherein doesn't take the land cost. If that is the case, then this can be caught. Otherwise not.
Yes, sir. So continue to that. Okay, if you strictly read after section 4 to LE talks about the utilization.
Right.
But where our forms or format of certificate restrict only the eligibility to withdraw. After withdraw, it should be utilized. That is what I should certify.
Correct.
After withdrawn it, if you don't spend for the purpose which is withdrawn, then it will continue to remain.
Yeah, but that will be covered in Form 3 on the top portion, the cost incurred. So whatever you have withdrawn, if it is incurred for the cost of the project, it will be covered over there, no?
Incurred means even the accrual also.
Yeah, can't help it. Can't help it.
Yes.
Exactly. Utilization is important. That means physically should have been paid to the vendors.
Yeah, but that is not being covered there, na? Because the word used is being incurred. So suppose now you have not paid to the contractor and withdrawn the money. Still, the RERA will not come to know about that. So you have taken out the money under the guise of making construction payments, and you have got the contractor bill on record. That RERA that will remain hidden. That will not be revealed in the certificate. You can't help it.
Yeah, if you add one more thing is utilization. Having withdrawn it, it is paid for the purpose of the incurred only. That would make more effective. Yeah,
that is true. It's good that you are practicing Karnataka. Otherwise, you will put all of us into difficulties in Maharashtra. Remain in Karnataka only. Vinay, don't come here.
Now, over the period, it has been authority has looked into and improvised it, sir. Because Maharashtra is a mother for everybody in all aspects for RERA, even the certificates.
Aditya, make it a point to make a remark and give a proposal to the WRC saying that Mr. Vinay Tyagarajan is forbidden to enter WRC. He'll put all of into a lot of difficulties. Huh?
Okay, nice conversation. All questions are addressed. Now I will request Sunil sir to take a Vaidehi case.
Friends, all of you, this case is of 2014, right? It is prior to RERA coming into play. But now, of late, this case has been utilized by many of the developers and many of the allottees as a landmark judgment. Honestly speaking, this judgment is exactly in contravention of the Nilkamal judgment. Nilkamal judgment was the judgment on which all of us relied about the efficacy, efficiency, and legality of RERA. So when RERA came into play, Nilkamal judgment of the Bombay High Court was the support given to RERA to implement the law. Correct? Now, this judgment of Vaidehi, honestly speaking, I will like the institute to conduct one full seminar on this subject because this is very critical to all of us. The case goes something like this. There was a cluster of buildings, about 10 buildings in a project, in a society in Mumbai. The 10 buildings formed a federation. The Bombay High Court, what they did is that they combined all the cases under one case and gave a judgment which says that a very landmark judgment in the sense that judgment says that Vaidehi developers are taken out of the project and all their rights are terminated, including the rights of the allottees who have booked the flats with Vaidehi when Vaidehi was having the rights of development. This is absolutely against the principle of RERA. RERA wants to protect the developer and the allottees, rather the allottees, from any wrongdoing by the developer. Here we have got a case wherein the developer, he was legally appointed by the society. During his appointment as a developer, he went ahead, took the booking from the allottees. But by virtue of this case, what happens is that the developer is taken out from the project and the allottees are not given any protection from the developer, nor by the society, nor by the new developers. So, which means that entire purpose of RERA of protecting the allottees is totally defeated in this situation. So, this case is going to be a landmark for the landlords to throw out the developers, and it can even lead to developers who are cheaters to take money, get the development rights, take money from the allottees, and just leave the project just like that, with the allottees having no protection either from the original landlords, that is society, nor from the new developer. I will read out that para in this order, which is very important here. The para says, the decisions of the society in connection with the present dispute are prima facie taken bona fide, and none of the challenges of the members opposing redevelopment are prima facie sustainable. Then it says, none of the third party purchasers who claim through Vaidehi under their respective agreements for sale or allotment letters have any case for specific performance of their respective agreements against the society or Rustamji, which means that the purchasers who booked the flats with Vaidehi are not given any protection by this order. The order says they do not have any claim for any specific performance against Vaidehi or against society or Rustamji. It further says, none of these purchasers has any enforceable right under MOFA against the society or Rustamji, which means that the rights of those purchasers who paid the money to Vaidehi are terminated ab initio by virtue of this order. So this order is under MOFA, is not under RERA. But in two of my cases, the society has taken this stand that because of Vaidehi, the developer is thrown out of the gate, and similarly, along with the developer, all the allottees who were allottees of that developer do not have any locus standi as far as this society is concerned. This is something which is not expected in RERA. If you read the RERA provisions, RERA says that in such a situation, when there is a change of developer, the A developer who is taken out, all his rights, obligations, duties, and liabilities go vested in the new developer who is being appointed by the society. So the RERA gives protection to the allottees in the sense, RERA says that your obligations, rights remain protected with the new developer. Now, in case the society has taken over the project on their own for the further completion, then the law, RERA as it is understood by me, it says that the new developer is a society So whatever obligations were cast upon the old developer by the allottees will get transferred from that developer to the society when they have taken over the rights. So this is what the law as understood by this decision is. This is a very important case because this is going absolutely against the principles of Nilkamal. Though this is under MOFA, Nilkamal is under RERA, but all of you should be having the knowledge of this case also, because you will have to face this in litigation. But I am facing this case of Vaidehi in two of my litigations, wherein in appeal, the society has taken this stand that because the developer is thrown out by us, he and his allottees do not have any right to come to us. This is a very dangerous thing which can go against the allottees. And as a protection to be given to the allottees, for us, in the interest of the allottees, we have to read this case very carefully, understand the matter in the right perspective. Well, we'll have to counter this case. I am doing this in two of my cases. Let me see how it goes. So this is something which is I wanted to bring to the knowledge of all the participants so that they can also apply their mind, go through this case, and in case we have got a session in the future, we can always take up this case along with the judgments as given by RERA, under RERA, which are contrary to this principle of Vaidehi. So what exactly should be the law? We can look into that of all the aspects of Vaidehi and the other judgment as given by RERA. That's what I wanted to propose to you. So whenever we are going to meet next time or the after that, whenever I get an opportunity, I like to throw more light on this and make all of us understand the intricacies of this case. Yeah, Lalit, you can take over.
Okay. Thank you, Naik sir, Dilip sir, and Sumit sir for wonderful knowledge sharing. I would like to offer a.
Lalit,
Yes, sir.
Lalit,
Yes, sir. Continue.
If you allow me only within 60
Bilkul, sir,
seconds, I
bilkul,
can
bilkul.
give some different whatever
Okay.
is. Yeah. Yeah. In Maharera, there are cases wherein like Parthes society case, wherein the Maharera says the builder who was given the development right by the society and subsequently the society has terminated the rights of the development of the developer and they have appointed someone new, right? In this given situation, the obligation of the new promoter is of the old one also shifted to the new developer. They are obliged to fulfill all the terms and conditions mentioned in the agreement for sale or the allotment letter of the old one. And therefore, the reason they have given is all the rights were given to the developer under the development rights. And therefore, the principal and agent relationship is there under the Contract Act. Now, the principal has terminated the rights of the developer, means the developer's right now shifted to the principal. But during the tenure, the developer was having such rights in their hands, they were bound to continue obligations vested with the developer. Society cannot decline to give whatever is agreed upon with the allottees in this case, right? This is RERA's welcoming view and might be both the cases, if go up to the Supreme Court, then we can have the concrete reply. Till then, we are all hanging because we can see whatever Sunil Naik sir said, that case and Goregaon Pearl case, which is on the same line, wherein the arbitration at High Court has given same verdict, protecting the interest of developer society, and wherein there were two wings, A and B. The society could succeed in their request relief that they all should get in the completed building, all the members of the society, and High Court have given that. And what will happen to those who are already registered in that existing developed building? There is no reply from the High Court. They are saying you go to the RERA. RERA is meant for protecting your interest. This is what in the Goregaon Pearl case. Yeah, this is the litigation which will be going on till it is completed through the High Court or Supreme Court. Yes, over to Lalit.
Okay. Thank you for organizer to allow me as a moderator. I would like to request Aditya sir to offer a formal vote of thanks to panelists and share or give a notice, give a instruction for next meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Lalit sir.
Thank you.
Once again, I would like to thank all the panelists. Sunil sir, Dilip sir, Sumit is not there right now, and Lalit sir, especially for excellent moderation. And definitely many participants, it had gone to about 20. So those who are serious about this profession in RERA, they have attended and they have definitely benefited, because many queries and many issues. I really thank the person who was from Surat. He also attended. I have seen him for the first time. So it was a value addition that what is going on in that state also. And Sunil sir aptly answered most of the queries, and Vaidhi Akash, definitely it is I mean to say, there is an issue with regards to the protection of the new LRTs, because it is not their mistake when a promoter is promoting that project and they are dependent on that promoter. So their rights should be protected, and the societies also should not take such stand. I don't think so in RERA it will stand, because that Vaidhi case was covered in MOFA. Mostly all the queries which are hot topic currently were taken up by this forum, by this panelist, and it was definitely resolved. And I hope so all the participants really have a insightful session for today. And the next month we will be probably having the last meeting for this financial year, and then a new team and new forum will be there. So I hope we should discuss at least what needs to be the topic, and whether it should be physical or virtual.
Okay, that we'll discuss on
WhatsApp
group.
Okay, so I hope so. Yeah, everyone will choose physical, because
Yes, definitely, sir. For that, I will say don't put an option. It's a physical compulsory.
Yeah, hopefully. So everyone will try to come. If we will keep physical, we will let you know in advance, and accordingly, please try to make it, because it is the last meeting of our study group for this financial year. With this, Dilip sir, do you want to say anything?
Yes, I would love to have members together and enjoy this whole years with the physical meeting. And I concur with Lalit ji not to have any other choice, so that members hungrily come and join the meeting. But there are people, those who are having the genuine problems sometimes, they may be out and they don't want to miss this program. But if that is the hungerness, then why we have only 20 or 15 members? And we should not entertain those things. I take the responsibility that those members may be not comfortable what I say, but our presence is when not more than 20, then what is the need of having the Zoom facility to other members? At least let them come. We have the recording, they can listen the recordings. This is my opinion. Yes. Let us have the last meeting physical one.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So we will decide core committee, and if anyone wants to take a lead as a speaker, I can see Bharat sir is there. Bharat sir, are you there? He's also a good. He always cater to forensic audit, and he's practicing in Palghar in RERA.
Wow.
So I hope so. If he's interested, then we'll see in later next meeting. But probably if anyone else is also interested, they can lead the next meeting, and then we have a good time in the physical meeting. That's all. Can we close the session for today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
everybody,
thank you.
for the patient hearing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you all the
Thank you.
participants also.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye, sir.